Sarla, Sip Samatma, Sip Rajinder, Sip Karan, Sip Sukeshani, Sip Chidanand, Sip Sundari, Sip Parvati, Sip Lakshmi, Sip Deepa, Sip Tina, Sip Raji, Sip Premchand, Sip Shair, Sip iPhone, Sip Girish, Sip Bliss, Sip Anand, Sip Vanita, Sip Komal, Sip Ahem, Sip Atmatre, Sip Sanjay, Sip Krishna, Sip Ru Mataji, Sip Kavita. Today, an interesting discussion. And the discussion, I think there was a confusion of two messages coming out. I apologize for that, some confusion, but I already told you today's topic. What is the difference between Nirvana and Moksha? What is the difference between Nirvana and Moksha? Very interesting for the people who are on the journey of enlightenment, on the journey of awakening. So let us get into action, my dear friends. What is the difference? Who would like to start? You know, Nirvana is a Buddhist concept and Moksha is a Hindu concept. And Hindu originally from Sanatan Dharma. And then Sanatan Dharma has evolved into Hinduism. But the concept of Moksha and Nirvana are very much alive in the world today. And I have Ashok Chotwani and Krishna who have volunteered to start this promising to be very exciting discussion. Difference between Nirvana and Moksha. Ashok Nichani and then Krishna.
Sure, sir.
Ashok Chotwani. Chotwani.
Yeah. Actually, sir, I have to say sorry because I have prepared myself for the answer of how can we live with contentment and fulfillment.
Okay. If you want to give that answer, you give that answer now. I have no problem.
Yeah. So to live with contentment and fulfillment, we should have following realization. They are
But how? So I will give the answer when I announce that topic tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I will tell you the way. I will tell you the way how to live with contentment and fulfillment. Unless you want to change the topic. If everybody wants to have that topic, we will postpone Nirvana and Moksha to another day. Today there is confusion. So we have to have conclusion. Let me see what Krishna wants to say. Chotwani, don't go offline. Krishna, what do you want to say?
Sir, Shivoham, sir, I saw the other topic of contentment only, but I don't mind trying this also.
Okay, today we are going to do two topics. Today we will take up two topics. I'm going to, because of the confusion created in our organization, we are going to do one, what is the difference between Nirvana and Moksha? And two, what is the way...
Sir, please, sir, we want elaborately. Take only one topic so we can have in full. Any one topic, whatever.
No, you tell me. I had told you all 2 days back that I want to tell you all about Nirvana and Moksha.
That's a topic we don't know much. So whatever we say will be very juvenile expressions of Nirvana and Moksha. So it's okay for us.
Let me take Chotwani's permission. And Shair wants to say, Chotwani, you want it today or you want that to be day after tomorrow? Not even day after tomorrow. Chotwani is muted. And Shair, aapko kya tippani deni hai? Chotwani?
Yes, sir. Actually, I have prepared myself for this one. Live with contentment and fulfillment.
Okay, Shair, what do you want to say, Shair?
Sir, if you know about Nirvana and Moksha, then contentment comes.
So I'm saying, I will, Krishna, with your permission, I will start both the topics, but I will elaborate it today and tomorrow being Wednesday, there's no topic. We will finish both the topics today and tomorrow. So let us start, okay? I'm just saying, I respect Krishna's view. So we will not rush to the topic. Whatever is not done today, I will cover it tomorrow. Come on. So Ashok Chotwani, you've told me. So I want to tell you, there is a way to contentment and fulfillment. And I want to give you all that secret. That secret I will give you tomorrow. Promise. Not the day after tomorrow, because day after tomorrow, unfortunately, there is no call. So it has to be tomorrow. So Krishna, what is your question? Today, everybody is open to talking on two subjects.
Yes.
On what is the way to contentment and fulfillment, And what is the difference between both are very interesting topics. What is
So
the difference
मुझे
between Nirvana and Moksha?
सर मुझे जो contentment and fulfillment I received only that message. I did not check my mobile. So उसके लिए मुझे I was remembering a spiritual phrase which I always remembered, which is avidya kamya karma, which is our ignorance that we are incomplete. We have lack something will prompt you to have desires, and desires will prompt you to do some action, and that continues till a guru comes to us and tell you that you are that complete person, you don't have to desire. So I think you once said, if you are contented, that means you are not spiritual. Contentment and spirituality doesn't go together.
Wow. So contentment and spirituality means you should not be content till you get that spiritual awakening. This is what I had tried to. So you should. But what about that greed? What about gold? What about lust? What about passion? What about desire? What about that the fire, the obsession? All these things are taking us in the wrong direction. Today I had a 30 minutes call with a Malayali actor. Lena Kumar. You know Lena Kumar? So you're no, you're hello, unmute. You're talking. I can't hear you. What you're saying? Unmute.
Today, a friend of mine sent the book she wrote. She suddenly got realization. I was thinking she talks exactly your same language. I was listening to her. She's very familiar to all of us.
So she spoke to me for 30 minutes today, and we are
Oh,
having a podcast. We are having a podcast, a joint recording with Lena Kumar on. She has written a book called Autobiography of God, right?
God, yes. Sir, and my answer to Nirvana and Moksha, little what I understand, because I didn't want to confuse myself, though I very well understand it's the same. When you say there is no Atma, and when you say there is Atma,
There's
it
a lot
must
of
be same.
difference.
I don't know.
No, there's a lot of difference. A huge difference.
It is only a semantic difference, no, sir. Finally, the truth is one, no.
No, there's a huge difference, and
Okay,
both
but
are good.
my
No,
understanding of nirvana is
that's
when
why.
you even transcend self, that they call it nirvana. For us, moksha is unification with the divine.
Yeah. Moksha is unification with the divine. Nirvana is not unification with
Yeah,
divine.
nirvana is transcending self also.
Nirvana is liberation from reincarnation, and moksha is liberation and unification. In
Yeah,
one
but
line.
it's so confusing. Both has
No,
rebirth. So
that's
what
why.
is it?
No, that's why today you all are seekers of the truth. I had promised in a call, I think on Sunday or Monday, I promised I will touch this topic. Therefore, when my team sent out a wrong message, I said, no, I want to explain this topic because tomorrow I can't, day after tomorrow. That's why I wanted, who knows, I will be there to explain. I want to explain this topic very much to you all. And so there are many people, including Will Smith. I hope he's on the call today. And he is very much familiar with the Buddhist concept. And in the see Buddha, this is why actually Will has inspired this talk. Will was asking about this subject on 2 days back. And the Buddha is one who went on a path of enlightenment. He is known to be Buddha means the enlightened one. Bud, Bud. Bud means enlightened one. So what happened? And Buddha didn't want his religion and caste and creed, and he didn't want, and he said non-violence, and he said no desire, and he said samsara is dukkha. But Buddha was studying Sanatan Dharma. Buddha was not studying Judaism or Christianity or any of the monotheistic religions. Buddha was a born Hindu, and he was in the Himalayas, and he was talking. And by that time, moksha had become a nonsense concept. In moksha and many of the Hindu concepts, I'm sorry to say, it's nothing. It's you will go to Swarga. And some more people, when they say moksha, they take it to another level that you will go to Vaikuntha. Now, this Vaikuntha airport, people are trying to find where is the airport in Vaikuntha, or is there a spacecraft that will land in Vaikuntha? And the people who believe in this Vaikuntha business they're very staunch. Hare Krishna. Huh? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So today I'm trying to I don't know if it's the right button I've pressed or not today, but I'm trying to press the button on what the Buddha called anatta. The moksha believed in Atma. Buddha believed in anatta. Moksha believed in Paramatma. Buddha believed in Shunya. So how can you connect nirvana and moksha? This is the point I would like to throw upon you all and all the masters in this call who know little or who know lot. Please tell me. And then the rest of the time we will go to how to reach contentment and fulfillment. And tomorrow we will do a faluda of both. Rekha Parwani.
Shivoham.
Yes.
Now, nirvana is when we are alive, we get nirvana.
And moksha?
After our death.
Okay, good. Good.
And one more thing I wanted to ask you, that nirvana is getting free from these attachments, like a yogi, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And one more thing, now you said the Buddha said that nirvana is, just now you said moksha is Atma. And
Buddha
nirvana,
said,
what did you say Buddha said about nirvana?
Anatta.
Hmm.
Anatta means there is no Atma.
Yes. Oh, okay. But that shunya only can lead us to moksha, no?
Yeah. So Buddha spoke about how everything in this world is not Paramatma, but everything in this world is Shunyata. And this Shunyata, he meant consciousness, but he called it Shunyata. For him, so I mean, it's very important for you all seekers of enlightenment. You all are seekers of God. You all are seekers of truth. And when you all are going to be talking to anybody, you must know the difference. You all have to have clear difference between nirvana and moksha. You should not be blank. Right? Okay. So let's hear Master Chidanand. I'm curious.
Thank you.
Thank you. Master Chidanand. We have two topics today. Of course, you can touch any topic.
Yeah. Shivam Guruji.
Sir.
Yeah, Nirvana, because Buddha or Buddhism doesn't believe in Atma at all. The concept of Atma means to that extent, when the arguments happen, they consider it as fake. They don't, because when you say there is Atma, then there is something. Whereas they say there is nothing. And Nirvana means there is nothing. Shunyata, because they are approaching the world from the concept of negation, which today quantum physics is doing that. It is not a molecule, it is not an atom, it is not a molecule. It goes further, particles, subparticle, quarks, and they are going to a shunyata. Finally, that nothing exists. Whereas, and that's why there's a hard problem of consciousness. When you approach from the moksha and from Advaita angle, we say there is only consciousness and everything else is a manifestation. It is not a creation, it is not a production, it's only a manifestation. That's why the concept of mithya has come. So these words mithya, mithya is what that which is not having independent reality. When you say there is a podium, then naturally there's a wood behind. We say wood is the reality. When there is a pot, pot is only name and form and just got some usage. Nama, Rupa and Vyavahara. But actually it is clay. So we give all these examples.
Very good.
Whereas Buddhism talks of zero, there is nothing. So
But
that's why it is nirvana.
Chidanand, but there is a question I have to ask you. Then according to Buddhist or according to nirvana, who takes rebirth?
That element I'm not clear. They say that is because of there is anitya. So there is a different. There is a concept of anitya, that vibratory, that is a vibration, and that takes rebirth. So they say rebirth is not moksha. Rebirth is a natural process which happens.
No, but they say that we have to get nirvana to escape from rebirth. Therefore, the inference.
That's why there's the biggest argument of Advaita. No, that is the fallacy. If you go from that angle,
Chidanand,
who understands?
My dear Chidanand, today we are not here as a group to do argument. Today we are here to understand synergy. I want you all to pick the best of nirvana, and I want you to pick the best of moksha, and I want you to align it as two sides of one coin.
So then there is only one word in Buddhism which is called Buddha.
Yeah.
When somebody asks if there is nothing, then what it is? Then I am Buddha. So the Buddha is not a, it's a, I don't know, because since I have not studied Buddhism in detail, I'm not in a position to,
No, I have not studied
exponentially
anything.
say. But I
And
think,
I have not studied anything. So where is the question of you very
no,
good? Very good.
you have realized, so that's why you are Buddha, sir. And also you are a Sikh.
No.
So
So,
that's
so,
the,
so Chidanand, let's quickly put few of the concepts of Buddha in front, and then let us match what is this Nirvana and Moksha. Actually, I'm telling you before I forget, both are same. Nirvana and
both are
Moksha are exactly the same. Now, let me
correct. Because
quickly
one
tell you,
approach is
and
exactly the same, because one approach is from the angle of the consciousness only is, and other approach is from the angle of shunyata.
let me go back 2000 years in my consciousness and tell you what I think Buddha realized and what Buddha tried to say. Let me tell you, and then if this group doesn't want to discuss further on Nirvana Moksha, we'll
And,
move to
and I
Chotwadis
have
and
a small
Krishna's
submission.
second topic. Yeah.
I have a small submission. Because what really Buddha said, we don't know, sir. It is what people,
No,
so we
Chidanand,
don't know.
Chidanand, we are talking of some of the key words Buddha used. We are only trying to take those keywords and we are going to the original, trying to get the not what Buddhism is. We are not today talking Buddhism. My discussion is not the difference between
Exactly.
Buddhism and Hinduism. No, my discussion is between Nirvana and Moksha. Nirvana concept is Buddha's. The word Nirvana is coined not
Yes,
by
yes.
Buddhism. So let me explain to you.
Shunyavada.
When quickly, I want everybody, please pay attention and we'll move from here. Is everybody, and do I have all your attention? Raji, Rajinder, Samatma, everybody, Girish, do I have all your attention, please? Let me quickly tell you, all of you, I'm not telling all your names because you all are actually one, names don't matter. So let me explain. The Buddha went from master to master to master to master. At that time in Hinduism, there was upper class and lower class and this caste and that caste. And it became like Kshatriyas and Brahmins. Oh, the Brahmins had become super powerful. Even a king had to bow down to the Brahmin. And the Brahmin was an ordinary man, but they thought they were men of God. What do you mean by man of God? That's how these caste systems came about in those days when Buddha was alive. And he was called Siddhartha Gautama. Then he realized that the samsara has got dukkha. Any of us deny the samsara is dukkha? We all accept there is dukkha. As long as you're alive, there will be physical pain of the body, misery of the mind, agony of the ego in air language. The Buddha called it that there will be samsara has got dukkha. This is what the Buddha said. And he said the way to escape dukkha is nirvana. And this nirvana, it's not very clear, but actually it is two types of nirvana. I think one he called nirvana and one he called mahanirvana. If I'm not mistaken, I am not
Yes.
very
Yes.
sure. But nirvana you could attain while being alive, like mukti. Like we have mukti and moksha. But I'm not worried about this technicality. I am going to tell you all, the Buddha only said one thing. He said, have you seen Atma? He said, there's no Atma. So as nobody can see Atma. So Buddha said Anatta. Now, this does not actually mean that there is no Atma. But what he actually meant probably was there is one universal consciousness in everybody. Then he said shunyata. Then the other word he spoke about, he never spoke about God. He never spoke about Paramatma. Because he said, who has seen Paramatma? Nobody has seen Paramatma. All he spoke about was the cycle of death and rebirth. He spoke about dukkha and he spoke about nirvana, not moksha. So today my quick intention, luckily it's not the main topic because I don't have much, you all don't have many questions. If this was the main topic, then I would be caught with the topic on my head. So you all don't have much interest in the subject of nirvana and moksha, but actually you all should develop interest and you should study because Buddha is the one enlightened person we know of. Buddha is not a mythological figure. Buddha was a real prince. Buddha's story is not prehistoric. Buddha actually lived. He's not like a god and goddess in the sky. He's a saint. He's an awakened soul. And he said anatta. He said shunyata. So and he said many other good words, which I am not getting into. But I want you to understand today, the Christian world. I've written a book called Men, Men. Have you read the book Men? Men means moksha, enlightenment, and nirvana. This was the book I've written. It's called Men, Men. Am I right? I hope I'm not making a mistake. Men ka वही तीन नाम है ना. So I have written that book 3 years back. I didn't write. Sip wrote 3 years, 4 years back. And so moksha, enlightenment, and nirvana, all of them are the same. In the Western world, they talk of salvation. What is salvation? Will you actually take helicopter and go to God? Very wrong understanding. Some people talk of resurrection. What is resurrection? Resurrection from the dead, which means after you're dead, the body will be there and then you will fly like that in the sky. No, that's why Buddha said, let's do away with all this. Buddha was a very practical man, and he said, don't worry about anything. Worry about your nirvana. Worry about your dukkha. Become liberated from the cycle of birth and death. Buddha stopped there. Buddha never said there is Paramatma, there's a God, who's God, there is no God. He said, according to him, it did not matter. It was not relevant. How I don't speak of many subjects. When you all come and talk to me, I tell you all it does not matter. It's not relevant. So, my dear friends, I want to leave with you a thought and then you can come back to me again. Nirvana and moksha are one and the same. It is like pani and water. Some may call it pani, some may call it water. Everybody has their own understanding, their own interpretation. But I don't think there's much to talk about. So I'm going to move to the topic of contentment and fulfillment. If anybody wants to ask about nirvana or moksha, please ask. But now, according to me, I have got, is it first Krishna or Rekha? Krishna and then Rekha. My signal is getting dead here. I don't know why. Krishna and Rekha. And then we are going back to contentment and fulfillment. Because if you all don't want to know about nirvana, moksha, I have no intention to force you. But if anybody wants to ask question of nirvana and moksha about Buddha, I'm happy to answer you. Yes.
Yes, sir, I want to ask about nirvana only.
Yeah, ask.
Yeah, sir, so that is what I was also thinking. The truth cannot be different, and for a great man like Buddha, so when he said it makes sense, but it must be a different methodology, so हमको confuse नहीं करना. So actually, I heard बहुत पहले I heard a conversation between Sam Harris and Sarvapriyananda, but I couldn't understand a word that time, and he was speaking about Buddhism and he was speaking about Advaita.
If you listen to some more such conversations, you will forget who you are.
Yeah, but my question to you is, did Buddha then mean, because everybody is trying to frame experiences into, the enlightening experiences into some words. So is it that the words doesn't fit into the enlightened experiences you all have?
No, see what Buddha said, don't have ichha, don't have trishna. He said desire is the root cause of a problem. He talked of detachment. He talked about contentment and fulfillment, which is also today's topic.
That's all the concurrent point of Hinduism and Buddhism. But where did it split into Atma and not Atma? No? So what is his explanation for rebirth then?
So that's what he just said, that if you have got karma, he spoke about karma. And if you have got karma, he said, and mostly he talked about bad karma. He did not worry about, in fact, he didn't much talk about good karma. Most of his karma is to create, we should be free from bad karma, and we would come back and we would die. And those, according to him, I'm not saying he has told exactly in exact words, but if you do good karma, then you're in the way of nirvana. This is what his shortcut explanation is. But Buddha was at a time where Hinduism was at one of its worst. Hinduism was very bad at that time because there were too much of Shudra and Vaishya and this. And that's where Buddha came about. And there was too much, I mean, the poor people, like how the blacks and the whites, you cannot go in a bus, you cannot do like this, you cannot do like. Therefore, Buddha gained a lot of popularity, and all the lower castes and people like that all followed Buddha because they didn't want to be caught by this caste system and all these things. That is one of the reasons the Buddhism flourished and it grew everywhere.
So Buddhism seems simple than Advaita.
Okay, it's simple, but it does not give you that state of becoming a Jivan Mukta and become a Satchidanand Atma and becoming one with Paramatma. It doesn't take you to that level. It stops only at a relevant level. And then he said one very important word Buddha said. He said, Apo Dipo Bhava. I always speak about it, right? So when you light your own light, no Krishna, then you shut up. According to Buddha, then you keep, then nothing more to talk. You have lit your light, you realize now what that light was. Buddha didn't say what that light will be. Here we are talking about what is the realization. I am not body, I am not mind, I am not ego. We are getting. Buddha said, don't want all these things. Buddha said, Apo Dipo Bhava, Anata, Shunyata, Nirvana. He kept it very simple, like you're saying, for anybody to understand. But it does not give you the ultimate answer. It does not answer all the questions. But at that time, what people wanted was people just wanted freedom from suffering. There was too much dukkha. There was too much of bloodshed and war and killing and in those days. So let us understand, and I'm only telling you closing line for me, Nirvana and Moksha are not different. It's looking from the north side and looking from the south side. If you look at Mount Kailasa, it looks different from this side, look different from this side. It's the same Mount Kailasa, but two different perspectives. Thank you. So I hope we are moving forward. Rekha, Raji, Bala, Girish. Yes.
Shivu Amer,
Yes.
I want more discussions about Nirvana and Moksha.
Yeah, what you want discussion?
Um, I think you get us some clarity. Like I've understood now that your one bhajan says Nirvana jo hai pata, mukti pata, moksh pata.
When I wrote
So
that bhajan, I did not know the difference between Nirvana and Moksha.
yeah.
For me,
So
that
now,
time Nirvana and Moksha were the same. Now also they're same.
yes.
Nirvana jo hai pata, ना मरता है ना फिर जीता, खुद का एहसास हो जाता, आत्मा परमात्मा हो जाता, ना तन मन बुद्धि हूँ मैं ना, और चाहता भी मैं कुछ ना, हूँ मैं बस एक आत्मा, चाहता हूँ मैं परमात्मा. At that time, I'm talking about Atma, Paramatma, but so I was using the word Nirvana and Moksha as synonyms, as the same words. Okay, Rekha?
Mhm.
And you
Yes,
better
yes.
do that, otherwise you will forget everything else.
Yeah,
Just
I
leave,
want it.
yeah, let Nirvana and Moksha be the same. Raji.
Yes.
Thank you. Raji, Bala, Girish, Will. Will is come. Will is the Buddhist man. Yes, Raji.
Shivam Guruji, even I wanted more about Nirvana and Moksha because I also don't know much about that. That is why.
So have you understood a little bit now?
Yes, little bit. But Buddhism, they say it is nothing.
I'm
Whereas
asking you. I'm asking a
in
question. Who created the word Nirvana?
Nirvana Buddha, but in
Who
that they
created the,
say no,
who
nothing.
created the word Moksha?
That is Advaita Hinduism.
No, nobody. We don't know. There's no author.
Okay,
So
Sanatan.
you came to know one difference.
So one more, I think this Nirvana means they say nothing, whereas in our thing we say it is Purnata, everything. Is it so?
Oh, yo, Raji, same na. That nothing and everything is same na, Raji. Yeah. If I say if I say this universe has got nothing, or I say everything is air, both both are same na. It looks like there is nothing, but everything has air.
Okay.
So how do you do? Which is wrong? If some child looks and says, "Oh, mama, papa, in this whole world, see, I can see nothing," and the other child comes and says, "Mama, papa, in this full world is full of air," who's right? Who's wrong?
Okay, that's the one understand. Okay.
So, so try to understand, Araji, from your perspective, what you want, whether you are attaining nirvana or moksha.
It is one understand.
You want liberation. You want only in nirvana, it doesn't talk of unification. In moksha, it talks of unification.
Okay.
That's the only thing, because nirvana keeps quiet about it. Buddha says because it will create confusion. Buddha did not actually say there is no Paramatma. Buddha just kept quiet. So that's why I'm telling Krishna, don't read some Swami and so do you hear some spiritual saint saying something and get completely confused. Then you get confused, then you come and tell me here this life only is useless. Somebody came and told me this life only is useless to live. How did life become useless? Yeah, we get so confused instead of enjoying this, being in such chit anand. The Girish created new word, man mithya dukha. So this is Girish's creation. So don't want Sat Chit Anand, don't want Man Mithya Dukha. Better Sat Chit Anand is better. Okay, Raji, Girish and Will.
Thank you.
To say that there is total shunyata, something needs to be there, someone. Is it that ultimate reality?
So Shunyata is
Which
because
views
it is.
shunyata?
See, Girish, why it is Shunyata, Girish? Because it is invisible. It is like
Yes.
electricity. It is like electricity. Electricity can be said Shunyata. No, you can't. But Shunyata, it's actually not Shunyata. There's so much power. Now I'm saying, that when Karan Johar asked me the question, he asked, who are you? You know what I told him? I told him, हवा में जो शक्ति मैं तो वही मैं ये नहीं आसमां में जो मस्ती मैं तो वही मैं ये नहीं जो मैं दिखता वो मैं नहीं सच में तो मैं एक शक्ति कण कण में जो है शक्ति मैं तो हूँ वो शक्ति. Now that Shakti, power, Girish, is Shunyata, no? It is
Except that
invisible.
Shakti, there is nothing.
That's what Buddha
Everything
called
is
Shunyata.
Shakti. So
That's
Shunya.
what Buddha called Shunyata. Because it was easy to explain Shunyata at that time. People were willing to understand that, accept that, then to explain the Shakti. So he took the route.
So when I say that there is shunyata, simultaneously I cannot deny my own reality or existence.
Correct.
That is the ultimate.
That is where what Buddha said. That is the answer Buddha said, Apo Dipo Bhava. When you light your own light, you will understand what is the Shunyata. When you have Apo Dipo Bhava, then you will understand what is Anatta. He left the answer to Apo Dipo Bhava. Now we will hear Master Will. Master Will carries a lot of wisdom on Nirvana. So let us hear Master Will.
Shivong, Sip, thank you very much for taking the call. First, I've got 2 points really. For the first point, you've asked about this word Nirvana and Moksha. These are technical terms. And my feeling is that even the Buddhist masters don't really understand the two terms. I basically agree with what you said. I think what you said is they're basically the same. I have done private research into those two terms, so I feel that in some ways, I've looked into them very closely myself. And as you say, they're basically the same, but there's just a slight difference in flavor. The word nibbana is not understood by as far as I'm concerned, it's not really understood by the Buddhist academics, but I privately researched it. It's got nirvana. Usually the Buddhist academics, they say it's like the going out of a flame. This is actually incorrect. I've researched it, but I think for the sake of this call, I really don't want to go into it. It's not a very important issue, but just briefly what I'll tell you, as I understand it, the word nirvana means, I think the word untroubled is how I would translate it in English, and it means you're untroubled by raga, attachment, dosa, hatred, and moha, delusion. Untroubled by these three things is called nirvana. That's what, as I understand, untroubled. The word moksha means free from, and what you're free from is this Pali word asava. Asava means like it's like a word for defilement. So moksha means you're free from defilement. Nibbana means you're untroubled by defilement. You see, it's not really, it's a very slight difference, but really more or less the same technically. But I have to agree that maybe Buddhist monks use it in their own individual way and they have their own idea. So it's a bit unsatisfactory. Technically, I say they're more or less the same, and it's not a very interesting topic to discuss for this group unless you have some, some issue that because I don't know how maybe in the Hindu tradition you have different ideas, and I can't comment on that. But
I'm happy. Will, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for clarifying this point, Will, because when you clarify that there's not much difference, it has a lot of value for people in the group. And remember, my friends, Will is saying he has gone beyond the Buddhist academics and he has done a private research and he's gone deeper into the subject, and he gives us that even in the deep subject, what he's saying, Nirvana is free from raga, dvesha, moha.
I could send you some information, but I don't think it's very interesting.
No, I have got what you told me has given me all the information. You've given me
the second point, a much more important point for me is I feel the Upanishads has driven India mad, and I think the Upanishads has made a serious error. I think, and what I would like to see in this call is I would like to see you making a definitive statement that the Upanishads is basically and fundamentally misguided, and it's created it's created a lot of trouble for India, and you've argued all about it for thousands of years, and you've got nowhere. And the basic fundamental issue is that first of all they divide Brahma from Atma, and then they say there's no Atma. They say first of all they say they're separate, and then they say they're the same. So why do you say they're separate? This is the only division, as far as I understand, is the division between Brahma and ego, or me. So that's the division.
What I'm requesting you before I touch this subject in detail with you, I'm requesting you to study on one word. I'm telling you, it's called the Mahavakyas.
Yes.
Okay. I only want you. There are 4 lines. There are in the whole of the Vedas. There are 4 lines. I'm requesting you to study these 4 lines, and we will have a talk on it. Then I will take up the subject that you said. Okay?
Yes, okay. So that's fine.
Thank you, Will. I'm requesting Will to study on the Mahavakya. See, what Will is speaking about is very true. Huh? Now, if somebody reads all the Upanishads or somebody reads all the Vedas, it can make you go crazy because it has got so many different things about gods and goddesses and Puranas and this and that. Oh, you can go mad. And somebody like Meenakshi would go and she innocently will read Vedas and Upanishad, and then she will tell, ye kya ho gaya mujhe Vedas and Upanishad maine ye padha. And then Krishna will say, I saw this Swami talking about this. And then what? Oh, we are here not to complicate. We want to simplify. So thank you, Will. And Girish, you're back to Girish and Bala. Girish, you're saying something more? And now we'll go back to the closing subject of Ashok and Krishna, and then tomorrow we will do Faluda. But today we will close both the subjects. Yes, Krishna, Girish.
According to my understanding, Advaita Vedanta divides Atma and Paramatma, or God and man, only to bring up the student from lower level to higher level.
Correct.
The method is called Adhyaropa Pavada. It is not absolute. Once we reach the absolute, then everything lower is left behind. So the lower no more holds good. They are not on the same footing, the higher and the lower.
What you're saying is correct.
That is the trick used by the Advaita Vedanta, which all get confused, and no one highlights that it is by way of Adhyaropa Pavada, through which the teachings takes place from Guru to Shishya.
Yeah, but what happens, Girish, what you're saying is correct. But when Will is talking from an external perspective, he's talking from what is available in the whole world, what is coming out in the entire picture. So we have to respect that. And that is very confusing. That is so. No, for example, Brahman and Vishnu, Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, that Brahma and this Brahma is so confusing. I would be confused from such a long time. So we need a little clarity on this. But more interesting today is how to live a life of contentment and fulfillment, which is what the Buddha said. But quickly, Shair, aapko kuch bolna hai? Shair and Bala and Will, and then we'll conclude on that subject. Bolo, sir.
Sir, my perception and my view is मिठाई है, सब में मीठा है. भले निर्वाणा हो, मोक्ष हो, मक्खी में भी प्रभु है, मधुमक्खी में भी प्रभु.
मधु में भी प्रभु है, मक्खी में भी प्रभु, मधुमक्खी प्रभु है. क्या तुम्हें कहाँ से सुना ये? किसने गाएगा ना?
Sir, आप ही ने तो
Very good.
I
Okay.
do something today, you know. I
Uh,
do something. So this is all this discussion which is happening. सबका अपना अपना ख्याल है बस.
you're right. I am absolutely with you on the matter. Bala, quickly before we get to we'll have something serious. Bala,
प्रणाम गुरुजी.
bolo.
Bhagwan Mahavir, after overcoming 27 bhavka hurdles, so he got nirvana after that, overcoming after 27 bhavka hurdles. Nirvana means jyot mein jyot virajman, matlab kuch hai hi nahi hai, nothing is left after that. So
Bilkul.
so I think that matlab I cannot explain jyot mein jyot
नहीं,
virajman.
don't try to explain also. आपने बोल दिया बस है. इससे ज़्यादा कोई बोलेगा तो will become confused. Okay, Will, thank you, Bala. Will, Will.
Shivamsip.
Sir.
I'd like to talk about this contentment and fulfillment. I think it's the same answer as I gave, I think it was yesterday. Where you see you are nothing, there's two things. Where you see you are nothing, I think then a perfect fulfillment from this time. But I think the
question, however, is how. The question is how do you get what is the question? How, right? How do you reach that state? Am I right? Is that the how can we live with contentment and fulfillment? How?
Well, you undertake yoga and abandon bhoga. You have to abandon your attachment. Because
now you come to a very important point. Exactly what I was trying to say.
It's the
But I'm going to change one word of yours. You said to abandon bhoga, and we are very close to it. It's very simple.
Yes.
If you're driving on a highway, and you come to know you're on the wrong highway, what are you going to do, Will?
You turn around to go the other way.
No, you take an exit.
Take an exit, yes.
You need to take an exit, right? If you don't take an exit, you are going to go wrong way. So Ashok Chotwani and Krishna, if you want to reach that state, what we are talking about, that state of contentment and fulfillment, the only way is to take an exit from achievement. And this is what even Will spoke about, what Buddha spoke about, raga, dvesha, moha. Inadvertently, or he just said it, and it matches. Both the subjects happen to match. If a person, I'm telling you, anybody in this call, today I'm telling you Meenakshi's name for the second time, less than 30, why is she on the call? Because she's trying to search for something beyond achievement. There are many people on this call. There are many people on this call who are in search of something beyond pleasure. If we are going to be searching for pleasure, then we are going to be caught on the highway called achievement. And today, I am telling you, any of you wants to take the right path. The right path is what I took in 2007. I shut down. I'm telling you from my personal experience. I took an exit. In any highway, it's called exit. Those of you who are familiar, I think in India, are they using the word exit now in India and all the highways? I don't drive much in the Indian highways. I don't know. But abroad, everywhere they use the word exit. Exit 1, exit 100, exit 200, exit 300. And India also should be using it now in most of the highways. But there are exit numbers. And I am saying, for example, Rajendra, Pandit Kashmiri, he was very much involved in this achievement and pleasure and samsara. Then he said, chhod diya. Chhod diya. He said, now, nahi chahiye. So I'm not getting into each of your stories, but tomorrow you can bring this. Tomorrow you can tell me, how many of you have taken an exit from achievement? How many of you have evolved from pleasure to peace? How many of you are seeking enlightenment? How many of you have moved towards that path of nirvana, moksha, salvation, liberation, mukti? So today we had two subjects, but what I'm happy is both the subjects have led us to one synergy. And that synergy is all about living as divine energy. So Girish, let me hear you before I lose the plot.
To say in other words, not chasing success and not postponing happiness, being happy now from moment to moment, living with acceptance, gratitude, and surrender.
Correct.
In this way, we can live with contentment
Correct.
and happiness.
Correct. But then what if we can live with contentment and happiness? Girish, since you're the last speaker and I don't know if anybody else wants to speak, then why answer my last question, Girish? Then why we need enlightenment? Then we don't
That
need
is not the purpose of life.
No, but why did don't bed on don't want purpose.
But only when the purpose is achieved, we are out of the cycle of death and rebirth.
Don't want death and rebirth. I'm not interested. I only want contentment,
That is,
fulfillment.
that is only the second peak. There is a third peak. In
Why?
search of this, we have to go.
Why we should go?
So that we can be happy all the time.
Why?
Because even if we chase success, it is to bring in happiness only. But with the wrong idea.
I'm challenging you. Contentment and fulfillment is enough now. Why we need enlightenment?
Still, we are not free of the triple suffering.
Correct. Now you gave the answer. After so much, now only you gave the answer. If you go from achievement and pleasure and success to contentment and fulfillment and peace, you will still experience pain of the body, misery of the mind, agony of the ego. If you want to be free from the triple suffering, you need enlightenment. You need to become Buddha. You need to become a Buddha, not the Buddha. You can't become the Buddha. You can become a Buddha, an enlightened one. And then you will have, then death, rebirth is another story. That should be apo deepo bhava. Only that should be a self-real, that somebody telling, not telling doesn't really make sense. When you get that anubhuti, when you get that experience, then you realize tattvamasi. When you realize I am that, then you will realize that you are free from the rebirth. Then you don't have to come back because there is awakening. There is enlightenment. That is the third peak and the ultimate peak and our final goal. But tomorrow is Ask AiR Wednesday, beginner's session, talk on all these points, contentment, fulfillment, enlightenment, nirvana, moksha. But have I answered, Chotwani and Krishna, have I answered clearly? The way to contentment and fulfillment is take an exit from achievement, take an exit from success, take an exit from pleasure, take an exit from this samsara, from raga, dvesha, moha, which Buddha, Buddha spoke about as nirvana. So the last topic is will. Will close. Yes, Will.
I just think one word important here is this word gratitude. I think for you, you've got a very strong gratitude, firstly to SIP, and also you've got very strong gratitude to your teacher. And I think you couldn't have contentment and fulfillment with that. I think to have a gratitude and love for your teacher is just, it seems to me the important thing with you and also with SIP. But I think maybe it's such an important topic. The Buddha said, he who is grateful is truly a great man. The Buddha praised it this gratitude, and maybe it needs a separate
yeah, we can have a separate, but Will, it all comes as one package. There is gratitude when there is humility. There is humility when we overcome ignorance. We will overcome ignorance when there is that deep thirst for the divine. All these things are on the same path. We are all going on that path, and we call it mumukshutva. If only we continue on this path, oh my beloved, oh my beloved, oh my beloved. If we remain on that path, seeking the beloved, seeking the divine. Prabhu paas hai, Prabhu paas hai, dur nahi wo, Prabhu paas hai. If only we feel the divine presence all the time, we will reach that state of eternal bliss, eternal peace. And right, we must have gratitude. What am I? Who are we? We are nothing. The fact remains that we are nothing. But the discussion will go on. Tomorrow we will conclude with all this together in the beginner session. Tomorrow I will see you at 8 with folded hands. Bow down to you.